Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Today, it's all about the presidential inauguration, but not the one that's coming up. I thought I would try to make something that would make everybody happy, no matter where you fall on the presidential divide. Got mostly stuff for the Republicans, but I've got some stuff for the Democrats too. You may know, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, that I not only went to President Trump's inauguration, but I also went to President George W. Bush's second inauguration. So I have accumulated some special mementos through the years and also some things from other presidents. And I thought that I would show you some of these things, but there's somebody else I think that you would like to see who's not going to be running for any public office because she can't answer the questions when you interview her because she can't hear. This is Cassie, my baby, my little girl. Oh, yes, she's my baby. She's so pretty. Oh, my pretty little girl. Mwah. Okay, I'm going to put you down. Oh, I'm going to show you some things that are up against my wall first. Some of these things, some of you may have seen, but I guarantee that I'm going to show you some things that nobody on YouTube has ever seen. Well, first of all, this is something that I actually bought when I was at the inauguration. And this is a calendar for 2017. And oh, I can't believe those people are playing music that close to my window. I hope you guys can't hear it. If the copyrighted music is heard, I really don't want to risk getting a copyright strike. If I have to, I'm willing to move into another room, but then maybe that idiot's going. I'm really not in the mood to be fighting with people. I'll go ahead and show you, not all the pictures, because actually some of these pictures suck. But you know what? Those people are making too much noise. Come on, let's go into someplace quieter. Come on, Cassie. Move it, move it, move it. Yeah. I apologize for the ghetto noises. You know, not a whole lot I can do about that. So, I will show you some of these pictures. I did my best to keep this in as pristine condition as possible. There are some of my memorabilia that I'm willing to sell, but not the presidential stuff. If I'm going to sell anything, it will be some of my KISS memorabilia. And especially now that now that I have all my stuff back, or rather my family has their stuff back from storage, I'm really going to need to get rid of as much as I can. Pretty much these are the pictures that you would expect. This is what his father looked like. Oh, Tabby boy. Oh, so this sweatshirt I got from President George W. Bush's inauguration. They were $5 shirts, and I handed the guy a $20 bill, fully expecting one shirt and $15 back. For some reason, he gave me 4 shirts. But you know what? I'm really glad that he did. That way I'm able to keep one or two in pristine condition, and one I was able to crop a little bit, and the other I was just allowed, I was just able to wear as is and not care if it got stained up or something. God, I don't understand why he's playing that crap so loud. And the thing is, right now it's only 10:16 p.m., so I'm not within my rights to ask him to quiet the hell down. But I can't risk getting a copyright strike. If I do, then 3 of them and I lose my channel. And now that there's so many ways to run afoul of the YouTube police, so to speak. Cassie, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get that Cassie girl. Oh, look what I got. Look what I got. My pretty little girl. I got my pretty little girl. Come on. Let's go back so I can do this video. Right? Cassie. Who's that pretty little girl? Oh, who's that pretty little girl? That's a baby. That's a baby. Oh, boy. I'm really not in the mood for that ghetto bullshit outside. I guess even though I'm really cold, I have no choice but to run a fan in my room. Tell me that's right. That I need to freeze myself out just because I don't want to fucking hear that. Well, I certainly can't call it music. Does that make it better? I just have to blot out that those sounds, the urban ambiance that I don't appreciate very much. I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in. So, got a bunch of things to show you, some of which I want to get a little closer to the thing. This is a winter scarf that I got at the Trump inauguration. These I got from, pretty sure, Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. That's from the Trump inauguration. This is from President George W. Bush. And this one I'll tell you about. This was outside. This was in front of a porta potty. President Trump's inauguration wasn't all that cold. It was pretty moderate, actually. But President George W. Bush's second inauguration, oh my goodness, it was so terribly, terribly, terribly freezing cold. I almost don't know how I stood it. I was so uncomfortable. And then they made us wait, after the oath of office, they made us wait an hour before the parade started. And I had to march in place just to keep my feet from freezing. It was, and it snowed the night before, so there were snow drifts. You had to climb all over these snow drifts all over Washington, D.C. It was very, 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 very uncomfortable. Speaking of George W. Bush, when you attend an inauguration in a normal year, anybody can attend the inauguration and the oath of office ceremony and watch the parade. They're free and they're open to the public. But if you want to, you can actually get an invitation, but there's a process. You have to go through your state representative. At the time of George W. Bush's second inauguration, I was still voting as a California resident. I was voting absentee. Actors and musicians and models in the state of California, entertainers are allowed to get permanent absentee voting status because they travel so much. And I availed myself of that year. And Javier Becerras of Los Angeles was my representative. And I contacted him. And when you also contact your local representative if you want to tour your capital. Well, through him, I got an invitation to the Bush uh, inauguration. And this is what it looks like. I see you, Tabby boy. And as you can see, they send it to you real nice. Send you invitation. And there's even a part of it. I thought all of it would be attached to this. I'll find it. I'll show you. Patty boy, I see you. What's the matter? Patty boy, what's the matter with my Patty boy? One of the things my mom and dad got me several Christmases ago was a membership to the George W. Bush Presidential Library. And when you get your first, hey, Pat the Patriot, I know, I feel you. You know what I want to do? I got to get up the courage to do it so badly. I want to call Rush Limbaugh and I want to talk to him, preferably on a Friday. If he doesn't have one of his, I don't want to talk to him I don't want to talk to one of his subs. I want to talk to him. And I want to, of course, I don't know how I'm going to keep from getting all emotional about it, but I want to tell him how we're supposed to go on, how we're supposed to process this. If we can't have Trump, I don't want to substitute, and I don't know how how our country's going to survive what Joe Biden is going to put us through, because he's going to reverse everything that Trump did. Now that doesn't sound safe, doing that to you guys. It seems to me that, especially with COVID going on, them putting you in danger like that. Well, look what Mitch McConnell did. Mitch McConnell voted to impeach him. And the thing is, if they try to go after Trump after Trump leaves office, then they should go after Hillary. They should go after Obama. I mean, come on. This is bullshit. They can't. I am no constitutional scholar. I am no attorney, but it seems to me that there's no way, as of 12 noon tomorrow, Trump is out of office. They got to leave him alone. I'm just so sick and tired of this. I'm trying really hard not to get upset about everything. I don't know if I should just hang all my flags upside down. And if I do that, am I going to get knock on the door from the feds? I don't know. And now YouTube is getting stricter and stricter with us and telling us what we can't talk about. That really rubs me so many ways raw. And I'm sure it bothers all of you. If you're watching me, I'm sure you care about your freedoms. And hey, Emmanuel, how you doing? I guess tomorrow's going to be a happy day for you, huh? Oh, meow, 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 what's the matter? Oh, what's the matter? It's my tabby boy. Oh, my baby. I love my baby so much. Hey, this is my Mwah. Mm, I love my baby. This is my baby cat. Hey, watch. Mwah. Mwah. Got lots of goodies here. Oh. This is from when Trump just won. Prior to all this COVID nonsense, I was going to Washington, D.C. a good 5 times a year approximately. When you have a friend that's living there and they say whenever you want to come into town, you have free housing, that's a real encouragement. So this is from the Washington Examiner, and this is quite a joyous cover. I'm going to put this real close to you so you can see it. Washington, D.C. is one of these groovy cities that I always like to bring an extra tote bag with me because I get so much in the way of free newspapers and magazines. It's a very exciting, very cultural city. You get magazines related to the arts. You get all kinds of ethnic magazines. You get magazines about cooking. You get lots of political newspapers. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't want to get an early start today because, I actually wanted to eat dinner first. My mother had made 2 steaks. Actually, she made 3 little steaks, but they were venison steaks. But she steamed them. And, when you boil a steak, it ends up getting kind of tough and everything. It's like, it didn't taste very steak-like. But not that I intend to be critical or anything. Oh, here, in case you guys want to know how to get to the inauguration that you're not supposed to go to. Oh, let me show you something very special. This was a handmade sign that I carried with me to Trump's inauguration. I just found it again last week, actually. I was digging around in the back room, my grow room. I don't like that we're basically been told that we're not supposed to protest, that any kind of expression of displeasure is deemed to be domestic terrorism. And you see how they're concerned about vetting the National Guard because they realize that most of them support Trump. They're actually finally acknowledging that 75 million Americans are displeased. And I remember full well how the Democrats were when Trump won. I remember the screaming. I remember all the signs of not my president. When I was still in Washington, D.C., getting ready to leave there to come back here, and I saw all the chicks going there for the Women's March, I'd heard about the Antifa going, taking the trash cans and throwing them through plate glass windows and throwing t-shirt displays on fire and stuff. I heard about that. And I saw Women's March signs, and I saw some of those ridiculous pink pussy hats. And as I was leaving Union Station, getting on a Greyhound to come back here, I saw the girls with their signs and stuff. I actually took a bunch of pictures. I have 8 disposable cameras that I really, really, really need to get developed. The prices keep on going up, and they seem to think that nobody takes pictures with real film anymore. And I think that is crazy for them to assume that. And I used to use services like Clark and York, which are basically, they bought each other out and you're now the same company. But the prices have really gone up through the years, and I'm a little bit of a procrastinator. And now they don't develop film anymore. And I'm not willing to patronize those places that are the pros go to that cost about $20 a roll, because I don't want my film just developed. I want it scanned too, so that I can share it online. Uh, this container here. Am I mad at you? No, Emmanuel, I'm not mad at you. I don't blame what happened to Trump on you. I don't blame any of my Democrat friends for what happened to Trump. You're entitled to your views, and I'm not going to carry a grudge against any of you for who you voted for. If, on the other hand, it was ever proven to me that any one of you was solely responsible for anything bad that happened to Trump, then yes, I would be very, very, very upset. But since I know that no one person is responsible for it, so I'm really disappointed in how many people were so disloyal to our president, people that he trusted that absolutely betrayed him. And that's really sickening. I don't know. I'm not happy about what happened to Trump. None of us are happy. And what? Do you Democrats expect some kind of a kumbaya moment? We're supposed to just forget about everything? Here's another Washington Examiner. This is from October 8th, 2019. What? Oh, that old walrus, that old race baiting son of a bitch. I cannot stand Al Sharpton. Hey, Sal. What's the matter? What's the matter? You complaining? You complaining? You complaining? Oh, my complainer. Are you complaining? Oh, who's this? This is my tabby boy. Oh, my tabby boy. My baby. I love you. This is my baby. My baby. Oh, it's my tabby boy. I love my tabby boy. He's so pretty. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, at that face. Look at that face. Look at my baby. I got my baby. Oh, can't wait till the cannons go off tomorrow and Biden has the power. Oh, hey. Oh, give me gungy bungees. Give me germy wormies. Thanks a lot, man. Now I gotta sterilize myself. Clean myself. All right, where's my alcohol? No alcohol? Meow. Meow. Tabby boy, where's my alcohol? Huh? Uh, you wouldn't believe this. YouTube tried to censor. Uh, you said Biden is a loser. YouTube tried to censor it. The Monopoly cat is Cassie. I'll show you her. Hold on a second. Here's the Monopoly cat. Here's the Monopoly cat. If you saw that mural, the cat that's on the mural, this is her. She was hanging out in the garden when that lady was painting that mural about the Monopoly board, so she got pictured on it. And unfortunately, when they were putting the fence in front of the grass in front of the garden, they attached the fence right to Cassie's face. What are you doing? Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Stop that. Yeah. Or sometimes, Tabby boy, where are you going? Oh. My cat heard my brother come in and he ran. He thinks he's got food for him. So, yeah. Let me find some more stuff here. Oh, this notebook here is from lots and lots of patriotic travels I went to. This is when lots of times when I went to the 9/11 memorials in Ground Zero, New York City. I went to Ben Franklin's 300th birthday. That was, in Philadelphia. I went to a gathering of Eagles in Washington, D.C. That was in 2016. That was after reading an article by Michelle Malkin, and it was about protesting to prevent a die-in by a bunch of leftist anti-military demonstrators, and we successfully chased them off so they weren't able to do their civil disobedience. Ironically, right very close to the Capitol. Yeah, this has a whole lots of notes from different political events I've gone through the years, and notes on the wardrobe I wore and the packing for various things. Yeah. These are all my disposable cameras. Any of you guys know of any places that do give bulk pricing on photographic processing? Please let me know. I've got 8 rolls of film. I would like to think that that's volume and I should be able to get a deal on this. These have great sentimental value, and I believe there would be great human interest too. Oh, that reminds me. Anybody is a real big fan of JFK? Let me know. Uh, I and let me know what your ring size is too, because I saw some things that are quite special. Um, but yeah, but there's very little in the way of George W. Bush memorabilia other than authorized campaign shirts, some of which I already have. I noticed that with companies like Wish.com, especially until you get to paying the postage and everything, they are really expensive, kind of with their T-shirts. Again, YouTube tried to censor what you said about the military. Oh my goodness. I have so many people that I care about that live in California, and I understand that they just got over 1 million COVID, not COVID, was it fatalities or just COVID infections? I don't know, but it looks like it's really, really, really terrible there. And yeah, I do worry about. They say that they have all those new versions of the COVID infection, but now they're saying that by March, the one that's the variant that's in England is going to take over here. But hopefully, the we'll be starting to be getting the vaccinations. I'm hoping that my mother gets it. Certainly, they're saying here in the state of New Jersey that for people 65 and older, they're the next people to get it. And my mother's 79, so she should be getting it. I mean, they've already been giving it to the first responders and the healthcare people. Oh, this is stuff from the George W. Bush Presidential Center. Or, oh, oh. Am I angry that he's leaving office tomorrow? Oh, I'm not. I'm not throwing a party about it. What do you think? I'm going to invite 20 of my best friends and get some Dom Perignon and get some chronic and dance the jig? No, I'm not happy about it, but I understand that in life you don't always get what you want, and this is called the peaceful transition of power. And, but no, I'm not going to say I'm happy about it. This is famous picture of George W. Bush walking down Pennsylvania Avenue. And I got so many newspapers pertaining to that. And I've saved, this is the turkey pardon. I was such a huge George W. Bush fan. I'm going to be showing you some things that are from all over the place that are no particular order. This was me on the first anniversary of 9/11 at Ground Zero. This was taken. I dyed one side of my hair red and one side of my hair blue. So just pouring things out from George and Laura Bush. Ah, my mother and father paid for me to get a membership to the George W. Bush Presidential Center. And yeah. Now this is really nasty. This was made up. This was something I found in New York City when I went to pay my respects the first anniversary after 9/11. This is Bernard Kerik, if you guys didn't know. And I'm a big fan of Bernie Kerik's. I thought it really sucked him getting caught, and he had to go to jail doing what he did. And all he did was get involved in that scandal where apartments that were supposed to be for first responders and whatever were also used for people to have their special apartments so that they could bring girls in and stuff. And I mean, come on, he's only human. I don't think that was the biggest scandal in the world. You know, people freak out about sex all the time, and I think it's ridiculous. This, when George W. Bush was running for his reelection, they had a rally in Wildwood, New Jersey, and my father and I went to it, and I made the newspaper. And they held it on Halloween of all things, and it was like 70 degrees, but I wore sweatpants anyway, figured, cover my ass and all that. And, if you look like me, it's Halloween, you have no choice but to wear a costume, because if you don't wear a costume, people are going to compliment you on your costume anyway. So I put my hair in a flag bandana and painted flag stripes on my face, and I made the paper. So. But no, Bush wasn't there. Okay, I got something for you Democrats. This is from Rolling Stone magazine, and this is President Obama. Told you I have something for the Democrats too. This is something about President Bush in his painting. I still have a lot of footage from Washington, D.C. that you guys have not seen yet, from just before my computer started going on the fritz on me. And I have videos about Bush's paintings. I'm just afraid that when I finally post them, I'm going to get you guys confused. You're going to think that I'm back in Washington, and I'm not. And truthfully, I can't see going back there until after I get the vaccine. Well, my mother's going to get the vaccine first, then I'm going to get it. And when I'm pretty sure that I have a healthy immunity to it, then I can get back to traveling again. And I really, 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 really miss Washington, D.C. Now I have more of my reason for going would be to visit friends. I don't think that I would have the political reasons now, because certainly with Democrats in power, and especially if there's going to be the ever-growing threat of violence from Black Lives Matter and Antifa, I don't know that it's going to be the safest place for me. Just because I am a Trump supporter, and I don't make any kind of efforts to hide the fact that I'm a Trump supporter. Oh, this is when this is from the paper in Washington, D.C. called Express. Yeah, we should unite to support the new president. I can remember when Trump became president, there was no talk about uniting from the Democrats. It was all, not my president. I remember getting past security from Washington, D.C. for Trump's inauguration, and hearing all the protesters screaming, trying to drown out the loudspeakers that were piping in, because I was trying to get some free weed for Trump's inauguration. They were passing out like 9,000 joints, and don't you know they ran out just before they got to me? This was in DuPont Circle, if you're familiar with Washington, D.C. So I had to enter the oath of office area really far away from where it was going on. I entered from around Washington Monument. That's quite a distance away from the Capitol and all that stuff. So, yeah, this is from George Herbert Walker Bush, when he passed away and he was lying in state at the nation's capital, I went to Washington, D.C. to see him. Oh my God, it was so cold. It was like early December. And you have to wait in line. And even though the line wasn't the slowest line in the world, it was terribly, terribly cold. Washington, D.C., their winters are hell. Absolutely hellaciously, uh, hellaciously cold winters. Oh, here's some whole bunch of articles for George W. Bush. I really, really, really into George W. Bush. George W. Bush is a man that actually turned me Republican. It was 9/11 that put me onto the right side. Because, I was living in Los Angeles when 9/11 happened, and most of my friends were other liberals. But I was always a fiscal conservative, though. I was raised to be very, very careful with the money. And I was always very hawkish when it came to national defense. I was always very, my country, right or wrong, I was always very much loving the flag and respecting what our veterans did for us. My father was a Korean War veteran, so that's just how we were raised. But this is from, the 2016 election. I just dropped some things on the floor. Hold on. I actually was given this when I was in Washington, D.C. Ah, here's a good one. No, why, Emmanuel? I'm not annoyed with you. Why would I be annoyed with you? Don't be getting a complex just because you're a Democrat that I should be annoyed with you. That's like I should be annoyed with my mother because she's a Democrat, and she and I have been yelling at each other all the time. I put Rush Limbaugh on. We listen to that. When Rush is over, then I put Sean Hannity on. When Sean Hannity's over, then it's Mark Levin. Then when Mark Levin's over, then it's Dan Bongino. And my mother doesn't like any of them. And she finds fault with all of them. And we don't see eye to eye on that. But that's just how it is. She's a Democrat, and I have to respect that. And if a person has a certain political way of thinking, of course they're not going to care for the pundits that are on the other side. That's just the way it is. And as much as I may wish that she would hear it enough times that she would say, oh, you know what? He was right all along. I'm not going to hold my breath. People are who they are. And hey, you know what I'm happy about? That Joe Biden is happily married. He's got a wife that dotes on him, that loves him. I feel really bad that his first wife was killed in that car crash, but he was able to find love again, and he needs somebody that is there for him to make up for when he has problems with the brain function and stuff. He really needs somebody to guide him and to keep him from embarrassing himself when he does his public speaking things. Can you imagine if he was single? It would make his job so much harder. So I hope that he's healthy. I certainly don't want something to happen to him and have that VP be the president. That is one of the most terrifying scenarios I could see happen to America, is having a Kamala Harris presidency. So, but I really hope that the Democrats abandon their intention of continuing to mess with Trump after Trump officially leaves office. Because we don't, in our country here, we don't go after presidents after they're not in office anymore. Then it's like on to the next one, worry about the current administration. But if they're going to continue to harass Trump when he leaves office, then I assure you, the Americans who voted for Trump are not going to forget, and we will give the same treatment to the Democrat ex presidents if you Democrats that are coming into power now go after Trump when Trump leaves office. I promise. I can only speak for myself, but there are 75 million Trump voters, and we are not going away quietly. We remember how Trump was treated, and don't be surprised if we treat Biden the same way. All you guys that used to say about Trump, he wasn't really our president. Whoever happens to have won, whoever is decided by the electoral college, even though anybody who's anybody knows this election was stolen. It's totally unfair that Trump is leaving and Biden's in. But you know what? If that's how it is, that's how it is. But you're going to ask the American public to trust the voting process. I mean, there's so many people. Yeah, give peace a chance. I would like a big piece of marijuana. It would go in my lungs. I would give a chance for a piece of that, and that would make me happy. Cassie. Oh. Listen to this purr. You hear the purr? You probably can't hear the purr because of the fan. Oh, be good. You be good. Hold on a second. Cassie. Nobody wants to see Trump thrown in the slammer. I don't want to see Trump thrown in the slammer. You don't want to see Hillary locked up. You don't want to see Obama locked up. What about Hunter Biden? You don't want to see Hunter locked up. I mean, what's up with those hookers? What's up with all those hookers? That's what I want. Oh, but we're not supposed to judge about that, right? Because the liberals don't have any problem with hookers, right? Yeah. It's like this, dude. Come on, man. Let me see if I got some more stuff to show. I'm sure I do. Oh, a whole bunch of memorabilia here. And this is something else oh, this is from, I think this may have been from the Walkaway March. And I still am quite perturbed that Facebook took away the Walkaway March. Totally just took it away from Brandon Strock. And yeah, this is from 2019. See, all the pro-Trump things that we had, they all had protests for that. All kinds of protests. And now that they finally poked the bear, oh, they try. Um, YouTube tried to censor you, Emmanuel. YouTube seems to think I don't like certain words. I don't censor on my channel. You guys can say whatever you want. Here, flashback to Trump's inauguration. Epoch Times is a really fantastic newspaper, if you don't already know. I used to read it free in Washington, D.C., in New York City, and in Philadelphia. But as of August of 2019, they stopped giving it away. And now you have to get it in the mail and pay for a subscription. But it's a really good, unbiased paper, but they are anti-communist, and they tend to be a little bit more in favor of the Republicans, I think. I don't know if they call it Pussycat, but I still don't understand why Madonna got away with saying, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House. I mean, didn't she get a visitation from the feds for saying that? Especially somebody with her star power, with her influence, all those fans of all ages that she could rile up to get to do some rather incendiary things. Here, the next time they open up the Capitol, you guys want to visit it, this is what you will get. It's quite beautiful. I love the artwork. It's hanging up in the Capitol if you ever get a chance to see it. Of course, I have a feeling that it's going to be quite some time before visitors are allowed there because of what happened on the 6th of this month. This is some more information about Capitol tours. I know I'm going beyond just presidential memorabilia here, but figure things pertaining to Washington, D.C. Oh, yes, I remember her nasty woman speech. She got it all to talk about the blood. I thought that was a little odd. It's sad because I like a lot of those entertainers for different reasons, but my favorite way of going to Washington, D.C. is taking the Greyhound. Lots of stuff here. I am a nasty woman. Yeah, I remember that. Well, this is making me homesick for Washington, D.C., kind of. But still, wintertime makes it inhospitable. And right now, it's all razor wired up and it's barricaded, and they say it looks more like Baghdad than it does look like an American city. And I understand they were again talking about, yeah, the Cheeto dust. I remember that. They were supposed to be giving out some more joints tomorrow, but they decided to wait until the summertime. FYI. There's this mailing list I'm on called DC 420 or DCMJ. And, I do tend to pay attention to anything related to marijuana because, well, that's how I roll. Got some stuff from Rudy Giuliani's presidential campaign. I really, really, really wanted him. Yes, I do have to agree that some of the mudslinging was funny on both sides. Everybody got some pretty good digs in. I know that when I cut things out and there are food ads in the back, then you look back at how low the prices seemed however many years ago. That's when you realize how much inflation we have. I have so much in the way of newspaper clippings. This is about the Bush inauguration. I have all kinds of, look at this. I have so much paper memorabilia. I could open up my own museum probably. All kinds of civics information, all kinds of information about taking the oath of office, all kinds of minutia. And also, I had some extra articles and things that friends of mine cut out for me. Actually, the person that sent me this is somebody that was taking an involuntary vacation, if you get my drift. And he used to write me these letters in pencil because they don't allow them to write use pens where he was. And he would write on the outside of the envelope. And some of the things that he would write I would have preferred to be inside there. And, it's bad enough that these envelopes have the return address of where they come from, and everybody that sees the mail knows that you're getting mail from somebody that's taken an involuntary vacation. But they write on the outside of the envelope, and um, there was something that I liked that Michael Moore did. Didn't he do something called Fast Food Nation or something? Where he actually ate nothing but junk food for a whole year and suffered whatever health effects that happened as a result of that. Is it Fast Food Nation? Junk Food Nation? Something like that. I thought that was quite good. I respect him as a documentary filmmaker. That said, and I can't fault him for having a political bias. If I was a political filmmaker, I would have my biases too. So I understand that. But in the same token, I can't say to you that I agree with his stance on a lot of things. I'm sure that he and I are not going to agree on President George W. Bush, and he and I are not going to agree on Donald Trump. But he and I would probably agree on things like abortion. He and I would probably agree on things like gay rights. He and I would probably agree on marijuana. He and I just wouldn't agree on certain Republican things. And maybe he is, I'm sure, not as hawkish as I am. Oh, well, that was amazing. Well, didn't Michael Moore do anything about? I'm sure there's something that Michael Moore did that I saw, but did he do any documentaries on anything that was not political? Because I think there was something that I saw that he saw, or maybe he did something about the NRA or something. But that if he did, I didn't see that. Usually, I only see things when they hit the cable, and we haven't had cable activated since April. So the only video stuff I see is YouTube stuff, unless I'm watching somebody else's television. Oh, I'm going to show you a birthday card I got from my grandma in 2007. She knew I loved George W. Bush. I didn't get to see that when you retract a message before I got to see it. I was looking at her card. I didn't even get to see that. So you might want to think twice about retracting a message when I don't even get to see it. So whatever. Cassie, I see Cassie. I see Cassie. Cassie the cat. Hi, Cassie. Come here. Ah, the yoo-hoos out there are really being noisy. So, there's all these boxes. My house is full of boxes now. I believe this. Check this out. Look at that. All lining the steps. I used to be a Democrat, Emmanuel. I was a Democrat. I was a Democrat. Then I became a Green. Then I went back to the Democrats. Then 9/11 happened. And I turned Republican. That's what happened. 9/11 changed everything for me. Why are these people making so much noise? God. You know, it's 11:17. It's not maybe late enough to complain, but these damn people are so disruptive in my neighborhood. They really are. Look at all these boxes. Nothing but boxes and boxes and boxes. But that said, I got all my family stuff out of my parents' storage, so now they don't have to pay that rent every month. See since Cassie knocked it over. Cassie knocked the tree when I came back from my 2 days at the resorts in the resorts hotel. Cassie knocked over my Christmas tree. Cassie. Cassie, what you doing? Oh, 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 oh. Who's this kitty? Who's this kitty? I see a kitty. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at a kitty. Looks like a kitty. Looks like this kitty. Looks like that kitty. Looks like you. That kitty looks like you. Oh. Oh, look at my Cassie girl. I got my Cassie girl. Isn't she pretty? Isn't she pretty, little girl? She's a good cat. Oh, yes. She's a good cat. You gotta be a good cat. I expect you to be a good cat. That's right. I expect you to be a good cat. I need you to be a good cat. Oh, meow, 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 meow. Yeah, this is getting so annoying. You've got all these people that are hanging out outside, leaning up against cars, right out front. I'm stuck with this ghetto bullshit. And I shouldn't let it distract me from what I'm doing, but it really is annoying. So, um, YouTube tried to censor what you just said. It told me I could hide it or I could show it. And it's like, I don't know how I can stop the attempted censorship, but no. Like I said, you guys can say what you want. I don't tell people what they can and cannot say here. Now, when Reagan was president, I didn't appreciate him very much at the time because I thought he was an asshole. Because matter of fact, one time I never had a dog, but one time I was walking somebody's dog in Hollywood, and I was walking this little yappy little Chihuahua, and I walked him along the Walk of Fame, which is Hollywood Boulevard, and Ronald Reagan does have his star there. I, I hope you, my fellow Republicans, aren't mad at me for admitting this, but I tried to walk the dog right on Reagan's star, and I tried to get that dog to stay and do something, and the dog didn't. So, I mean, that's a total douchebag move. That's the sort of thing that I would get mad at a liberal for doing. So I was kind of naughty back in the day. No, you said that comment about you saying that you're a closet fan of President Reagan and the liberals would eat me. YouTube tried to give me an option to show that comment or hide that comment. And that's ridiculous. I don't understand why YouTube's algorithm thinks that anybody has tried to say anything controversial. That is ridiculous. Uh, and if I'm going to censor anything, it's not going to be anything that I've heard any of you guys say. The only way I would censor something is if somebody were to come into this chat room who was an enemy of mine and they decided to say something really hurtful or something. But as long as that doesn't happen, why would I censor anything? Tab, Cassie, you be good. Are you going to be good? Huh? Are you going to be a good cat? No, you're not going to be a good cat. Oh, you're not going to be a good cat. No. Oh. Yeah, YouTube is acting ridiculous. You know, they're getting stricter and stricter. Oh, what's up with President Trump is not allowed to make another YouTube upload until 7 days after Biden gets in? Somebody please explain to me what good that's going to do. Keeping Donald J. Trump from being able to communicate on social media. What good is keeping him from being able to have a voice? What good is that even doing to any of us? And you know what? If Donald J. Trump, one of the richest men around, can be deplatformed like this, that can happen to you. That can happen to me. It's happening more and more to voices that are more on the conservative side. Now, I could not really call myself conservative. I am more libertarian probably than anything else. I never really called myself a true conservative. I have conservative leanings. I am definitely on the right, but I'm not too hardcore on that side. I'm more moderate. But still, there are times when I've tried to say my truth on Facebook and they said that I have somehow fallen afoul of their community standards. I know people that have been in Facebook jail for months at a time because of some things they said, some things that I thought were quite funny about certain public figures. Like apparently you can't refer to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as Dementia Joe and the Ho. But one of my Facebook friends did say that, and it was funny. And I'm sorry. The information that I've heard about them definitely suggests that those were not an inaccurate categorization. However, apparently, certain kinds of political speech is frowned upon by certain left controlled institutions of cyberspace. So the illusion that you may harbor and I may harbor of free speech apparently is an illusion, despite the fact that we have constitutional protections of that. It's pretty bad that we don't have as much freedom of speech as we would like. But it's not because our country isn't free. It's because of, I believe, certain political factions that would rather act like fascists than would respect the Constitution. That's just my opinion. So, yeah. Let me see. I have so much stuff. I was going to just dig out a whole bunch of memorabilia and stuff and talk about all kinds of presidential things. But that said, this whole idea of this country coming together, and I haven't even really gotten a good look at her husband. I don't know. She scares me. She scares me a lot more than the new president's gonna. And the thing is, how well is he going to stand up to the squad? People like Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, or Ilhan Omar, or Rashida Tlaib, or Tlaib, or how the hell you say her name. And it's really scary. Is the second day that Biden is in office, he's going to reverse the travel pause for the most dangerous Islamic countries. The only thing good I could see about Biden coming into power is that I do have two friends in a very dangerous part of the world who I would love to get American citizenship. They are, one of them is in the arts, and the other is very, very good with languages, but they're good people. They believe in democracy, and they would be an asset to our country. And maybe this new Biden administration will make it easier for them to immigrate to America. But and I guess Roe v. Wade will be safe with a Biden administration. That's something that's good. Oh, I need to fill you water. I know. Oh, look what's empty. The water is empty. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm gonna have to fill this. Come on with me while I fill the water jug up, because I got thirsty kitties. Oh, I got thirsty kitties. I got thirsty kitties. If I don't fill up their water thing, they're just going to be really thirsty. So I think I have a. I don't remember if I brought the other part of it with me or not. Hold on a second. Cats need water. Yeah. Fix this. What? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Actually, what do you want? The camera's ready. What do you want? So now I've got the cat's water bowl fixed. Good. Okay. Alrighty, I better plug this back in. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be weird. And oh yeah, my mother, when we were listening to Rush Limbaugh today, my mother was obsessing over this special party that President Trump is supposed to be throwing 9-10 o'clock tomorrow morning outside of Andrews Air Force Base. And she kept on obsessing over whether or not Rush Limbaugh got an invitation. Supposedly, everybody that got invited was supposed to bring 5 friends. And so my mother is really fixated on whether or not Rush Limbaugh got an invite to this private Trump party. And it's like, does it really matter who shows up? First of all, we don't know how healthy Rush Limbaugh is right now. I don't have the that special pay membership, so I've never seen him on Ditto Care. So I'm sure his health would have something to do with whether or not he was in any position to go to that thing. Plus, there's still a pandemic going on. Not everybody's going to want to be in crowds. Maybe some of those people were lucky and have gotten the vaccine, but there's probably a percentage of them that would refuse it even if they could get it. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be rough for Trump supporters, but this is called the peaceful transition of power, and that's just part of our democracy. And that's how it is. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to be thrilled about it. With any luck, somebody will give me a call or contact me on Facebook and say that they've got weed for me and stuff, and I'll just get stoned into oblivion and won't care so much. So yeah, but we'll just have to make do like anybody else. Life doesn't always end up the way you want it to, and you just have to deal with it. So with that, I wish you guys very well. I hope you guys are happy. If you're a Trump supporter, you're not, but let's just hope for the best and keep long memories. Remember how you were treated 4 years ago. And they want kumbaya, they want peace, they want unity. Well, it's a two-way street. Let's see. Okay, if you guys like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content and you haven't already, please do subscribe. If you do, hit that bell so you don't miss anything I post. I post 3 times a week, and I'd love to take you along with me on my adventures. So, till then, hang in there, America. It's going to be a real interesting 4 years, but we'll get through this. Talk to you soon. Bye.